The city that never slept is suddenly quiet for decades. Singapore was sold to the world as the impossible success story. A tiny island with almost no natural resources, yet somehow transformed into one of the richest, cleanest, safest, and most futuristic places on Earth. It became the dream destination for millionaires. Luxury investors flooded in. Global companies opened headquarters. Tourists packed the streets. Property prices exploded. The skyline became a symbol of modern wealth. And for years, people believed Singapore was untouchable. But something strange is happening now. The crowds are shrinking. Luxury apartments are sitting empty. Office towers are losing tenants. Entire shopping districts feel quieter than ever before. And some of Singapore's most iconic locations are beginning to look less like symbols of unstoppable growth, and more like the early stages of ghost zones. Because behind the polished image, rising pressure is changing everything. Living costs are exploding. Foreign businesses are relocating. Young people are questioning whether the city is still worth the sacrifice. Even wealthy residents are quietly moving money and assets elsewhere. And the most shocking part: many of these changes are happening in places that once represented the absolute peak of Singapore's success. Today, we're uncovering 10 famous Singapore icons that are slowly losing the energy that made them legendary. Some are empty. Some are declining. And some may never fully recover. Let's begin. There was a time when Orchard Road felt unstoppable. This wasn't just Singapore's shopping district. It was the heart of luxury consumer culture in Southeast Asia. The street became famous for its glowing malls, designer boutiques, luxury hotels, giant advertisements, and non-stop crowds. People came from all over the world just to shop here. Tour buses lined the roads. Luxury brands competed for visibility. And on weekends, the sidewalks were packed shoulder to shoulder. At one point, Orchard Road symbolized Singapore's transformation into a global luxury powerhouse. But today, the atmosphere feels different. Many visitors have noticed that parts of Orchard Road no longer feel as alive as they once did. Foot traffic has slowed compared to its golden years. Some retail spaces have remained empty for long periods. Several businesses have quietly disappeared. And younger consumers are changing the way they shop. Online shopping exploded. Luxury spending habits shifted. Tourist numbers changed after the pandemic. And newer lifestyle districts started pulling crowds away. Instead of spending entire days inside massive malls, many younger residents now prefer cafes, mixed-use neighborhoods, online brands, or overseas shopping trips. Even some luxury stores have reduced operations or redesigned their strategy. And when you walk through certain sections during quieter hours, the contrast becomes impossible to ignore. The giant malls are still there. The expensive lighting is still there. The luxury image is still there. But the energy feels thinner. Almost like a district trying to preserve a version of itself that no longer exists. Orchard Road isn't abandoned. Far from it. But compared to the unstoppable force it once was, many believe the district is entering a completely different era. One where being iconic is no longer enough. Raffles Place was once the ultimate symbol of Singapore's corporate power. This was the financial heartbeat of the country. Towering skyscrapers. Massive banks. Global investment firms. Luxury suites. Endless business lunches. A non-stop movement from sunrise to midnight. If you wanted proof that Singapore had become one of Asia's financial giants, you looked at Raffles Place. But over the last few years, cracks have started appearing. Remote work changed everything. Many companies realized they no longer needed massive office spaces. Hybrid work became normal. And suddenly, entire floors inside expensive towers were no longer fully occupied. Some businesses downsized. Others relocated teams. Some international firms quietly shifted parts of their operations to cheaper cities. At the same time, commercial rents remained extremely high. That created pressure, especially for startups and smaller firms trying to survive rising costs. And while Singapore still remains a major financial center, the atmosphere in Raffles Place no longer feels as explosive as before. During certain hours, parts of the district feel strangely calm. Restaurants that once overflowed with office workers now experience slower periods. Retail businesses that depended on heavy weekday traffic are adapting to reduced crowds. And some workers are beginning to question whether the extreme corporate lifestyle is still worth it. Long hours, high pressure, rising living expenses, and increasingly competitive work culture. For years, Raffles Place represented ambition. And that psychological shift may be even more important than the empty office spaces themselves. Because once a city's most powerful business district starts losing its emotional appeal, the long-term effects can become massive. Marina Bay Sands became one of the most recognizable luxury destinations on Earth. The architecture alone turned it into a global icon. For luxury spending, luxury watches, high-end jewelry, elite dining, and ultra-wealthy tourists. For years, the place felt untouchable. But even Marina Bay Sands has started facing challenges. Luxury tourism has become less predictable. Global economic uncertainty changed spending patterns. And wealthy travelers now have more competing destinations than ever before. Dubai, Tokyo, Bangkok, Seoul, and newer luxury hotspots are fighting aggressively for the same elite visitors. Inside parts of the shopping area, some observers have noticed reduced traffic compared to the pre-pandemic years. Certain luxury stores appear quieter. Instead of buying expensive products, some visitors prioritize experiences, social media content, or short-term entertainment. That subtle behavioral shift matters. Because Marina Bay Sands was built around a specific vision of endless luxury consumption. But what happens when global consumer behavior changes? Singapore's Chinatown once represented a perfect blend of culture, tourism, history, and local business. The colorful shophouses became one of the city's most photographed locations. Tourists packed the streets. Restaurants stayed busy. Souvenir shops thrived. And the area felt alive almost every night. But over time, rising rents changed everything. Many small family-owned businesses struggled to survive. And some locals began complaining that the district was becoming overly commercialized. And suddenly, many businesses that depended entirely on visitors faced serious financial problems. Even after tourism returned, the area never fully recovered to its previous energy. Modern malls, digital lifestyles, and changing social habits have altered where people gather. Huge shopping centers, convention halls, office towers. Online meetings reduced the need for major business travel. Virtual conferences became normal. And many companies started cutting event budgets. That shift had consequences. Large convention spaces no longer attracted the same non-stop demand. Today, some visitors describe parts of Suntec as strangely quiet during non-event periods. The scale of the complex makes empty spaces feel even larger. Unused seating areas. Before you go, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos exposing the hidden truth behind the world's richest cities, billionaire lifestyles, collapsing luxury markets, and global power.